All right, so this is going to be on 2020 and what 2020 is, what I see it as, and why a lot of people are thinking that this time is one way, or and other people are thinking it's something else. 2020, first of all, represents or has represented for a lot for a long time vision, perfect, clear vision. So a lot of people were like optimistic about 2020, saying that, like at the beginning of the year, that we were going to be able to see clearly, and that things were going to be like imperfect vision. But a lot of people didn't really define what that meant. With your eyes, or what's going on in the world, you have two different views. Like, one is very clear, it sees everything for what it is, and it accepts everything for what it is. And then one is not so clear, it can't really accept things for what it is because it doesn't really see clearly. So it judges based off of, I want to say, feeling. And it's so funny because it ties to like your gut brain, but it sees by feeling, and it has to fill out the world. It has to understand the world through that way, and so it's very like emotional. So there's like a division within your vision when it comes to how you see the world, but it's not just on a personal level; it's on a global level. So when I say division, there's like a division, like two, two. When I'm saying die, there's two, when I'm saying two visions, and the reason why it's divided is because, again, we don't see clearly with one of our eyes, or we don't, and we see unclear with the other eye, with the other eye. um, but. Uh, So 2020 represents overall a test. And what happens when you go to the eye doctor? You go and you get your vision tested. So with getting your vision tested, it is determined whether or not you see the world clearly, or if you see the world clearly, or if you need some type of glasses or something to cover your eyes to help you see the world better, or to make you feel more comfortable in seeing the world better. But you also have the option of taking your glasses off and not seeing the world as clear. And some people are comfortable with that, and other people are not. But it's very important for you to see the world clearly. But it's also okay if you don't choose to see the world clearly, if that level of comfort is comfortable for you. But that's not comfortable for everybody, and that's okay too. But you have to judge for yourself what's comfortable for you. For me personally, and for many people, I'm sure, I will prefer to see the world clearly, and I see the world clearly, um, as it's becoming more clear, you know, every day. So I want to say my vision is improving every day, and I'm glad that it is. I'm in constant gratitude, like every day, every moment that I can, like express gratitude. I express gratitude for every little thing that comes into my awareness. I'm grateful for, and I try to focus on those things just to say thank you for those things. Um, but yeah, I was just thinking about the little things and how they are very important. And that also ties into vision, like looking at very small things and seeing how important they are to the overall. And then, like, and even if you like zoom out and you see like the overall, Like, the small things may disappear, but at the same time, they can appear bigger than they previously did. Like, for instance, you could focus on a thought that occurs inside of you. Like, it could appear as something small, but then it appears into the world like as a whole person. Like, and you don't you just like you have to accept like that actually meant something. Excuse me. That actually meant something to you, whether or not you were aware of it at the time. It's kind of like, no, it has to be relevant because it showed up for a reason, but you have to accept that it showed up. I feel like I'm going off on a tangent, but it's still relevant to what I'm saying. But I want to tell a story. When I was younger, I went to the eye doctor and my eyes were tested, and I didn't necessarily see 2020. This is how I discovered that my eyes were 2030. I believe they've been 2030 for like years, but I think now my vision has improved, but I haven't been tested on it. But when I was younger, I went to the eye doctor and I got glasses, and I wasn't happy with the glasses. I wasn't comfortable with the glasses. I didn't like the way they made me feel. I didn't like the idea of wearing glasses. I didn't like any of it. But I had to wear the glasses. At least at first, I had to wear the glasses. But over time, I stopped wearing them because I didn't want to see the world in that way. Not knowing that it was helping me see the world clearer, I just focused on how it made me look. The reason why I tell that story is now we have people that see the world clearly, but they aren't necessarily wearing glasses. They aren't necessarily wearing glasses, but they see the world clearly. But they're vocal about it, and they tell people about the world and how it is. And these were seen as like nerds when I was younger, like people who are very smart and who could tell you things that you that you didn't necessarily know, and you didn't know why these people knew it, but they knew it, and you either made fun of them or and you made fun of them and you didn't believe what they were saying. Now we have people who do that and they're vocal about it, and they tell people, the world is this and this is going on in the world, but people don't believe them. They think they're crazy, or they think they're weird or whatever. And it's just funny how everything, for one, everything happens for a reason, but everything is a parallel. Like, everything means something. Like, you make fun of people who see the world clearly as you make fun of people who wear glasses and who look like nerds, but these people essentially only seek to help you, or only seek to make the world a better place in most cases. I know a lot of the intelligent people that I've met in my life have, in some way, shape, or form, wanted to make the world a better place than it currently is, or as the collective mind sees it, or those on a present or on a specific level of consciousness see it. And that consciousness doesn't necessarily have to be anything spiritual. It could be just something like something scientific, something mathematical, something dealing with language, something dealing with history. It could deal with anything. But these people exist on a certain level of consciousness or a certain level of awareness, and people who are intelligent or specialized in a certain area of understanding, they seek to help to bring clearer vision to people who aren't seeing the world as clearly on the level that they are. And that's the great thing about people who are like intelligent, people who do see the world clearly, and that's why it's important for people to have clear vision, because the people with clear vision can help guide other people. And it's not necessarily to be a leader, but to point things out to them, to let them know that this is this, and not that you should do this, but I'm just letting you know that this is this, and you should be more vigilant and be more aware of, what this is, and maybe even investigate it for yourself. In many cases, encouraging you to investigate it for yourself. Like I encourage people to investigate everything that I say, and the only place that I say to really investigate is within yourself, and then where you go next depends on you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go next. It just matters that you go inside first. And that's what's really important. I love you. And the reason why this also is a time where there's like division is because right now we look at certain people as celebrities, and we look up to these people, and they're rich, and or you have people who are intelligent and who provide all these like jobs as far as technology. Let's say it like that. So the way it ties into us now is because we look at celebrities as great, and children want to be, when they grow up, they want to be all these things. They want to be like celebrity, or not necessarily celebrity. They want to be like artists or something of the like. They want to express themselves and to be recognized for it, because that's what they see on TV. And a lot of people, when they were children, were drawn into the TV, and they watched the TV, and some of them watched it very closely. Like they were to the point where they literally got sucked into the TV, which is a bad thing. And this is why at this point on the planet we have a lot of like child trafficking, a lot of human trafficking, where people are being abducted and children are being abducted because they're being sucked into a world and used by people who would be seen as celebrity or rich or wealthy or powerful. But a lot of what's getting ready to happen on the planet is all these people are about to be seen for what they really are. And a lot of them are going to fall from power, because a lot of people are about to wake up, and they're about to forcibly be waking up, and they're not going to be drawn into their TVs. They're not going to want to be into their computer screens anymore, because the world for them will totally change. They're going to see that all the things that they thought were great, or all the people that they thought were great, are not really great. They've been using the energy from children and the energy from innocent people against them. Like they use what is now seen as like sexual energy, and I may do a longer video on this, but it's seen as like sexual energy, but it's actually just creative energy. And this also ties into how we see the world in two different ways. We see it in a sexual way and in a spiritual way. Like we create sexually and we also create spiritually. But when you create spiritually, it's a more powerful energy because of the place that it comes from. It comes from a very pure place, whereas the sexual energy comes from, or it can come from, I want to say impure place. And that's not to say that people are impure, but it's just the way that we create is kind of like it can be like it can be like a demeaning way, because of the way the body is treated during the act of creation or during the act of sex. But it's not saying that the body is a bad thing at all. Like, the body is a great thing, but you're not supposed to view it that way. And especially children, because children are not supposed to look at the body in the way that adults do. And that's something that we know as children, not to look at the body and think of the body in the way that adults do, because it takes our energy from here, up here in the spiritual sense, to down here in a carnal sense, into a sexual sense that doesn't benefit us. It doesn't allow us to be happy, because as children we fell from this sense of, unity, of this sense of expansion, and this connected sense of, like, I can do anything, I can expand, I can do all these great things, and I'm all these great things, and not be like divided into all these things, because this ties into your third eye. Like, I have to mention another eye that a lot of people either are aware of or they're not aware of. I have to speak fast because I think my battery's about to, die or whatever. But the third eye, it divides into these two eyes, because you start to your vision starts to change, and you start to see, like, separately. You start to see the world in two different ways, as I was saying. You start to see it in the sexual sense, and you start to see it in the spiritual sense, the past sense, the past life, and then also the present, the creative, the not creative, the right brain, where time does not exist in a linear sense, and it doesn't go through old patterns and things like that, and you can literally use time to do and be in whatever space you want to be in whatever time you want to be in. But it's divided. The divide starts here. You don't want to divide your vision. You want to make sure your vision is like this, like a total triangle or a pyramid. Like, it exists in a pyramid, and the pyramid goes from here up here. Like, it just I can't do it because I'm holding, like, the phone, but the pyramid is here, and that's just where it divides from. But and it indicates how we see the world. Like, the division shows us how we see the world. Like, it gives us the vision of the world. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end this, because I know this battery is about to die. But I'm gonna probably do a part 2 to this, where I talk about the children and how the children fail, and why it's important for us to understand this point in time on the planet. But with that being said, love and light, and I love you, and I will talk to you on the next video.